So guys, after publishing our last commercials, many of you asked Jose how to get that soft look when shooting in 4K. So today, Jose will show you how to get it.
Hi guys, well, for me it's been a fight since 4K was released to get rid of all that sharpness. It's great for some things, but for other ones you need a softer look, and through the years I've been using different techniques to get rid of that sharper, very clinical look. Of course, some of the techniques are more obvious than others, but all of them are super cheap and easy to do, so if you are on a budget, it's going to be useful for you. First of all, I want to talk about more basic techniques that you can apply directly to your camera, like lowering the sharpness, because many cameras what are actually doing is adding digital sharpness to your image. The second thing is that you have to take into account that shooting in a high f-stop will result in everything in focus, and it will give you that digital edge that we don't want for our purpose. So if you are, for example, shooting outdoors and you need to reduce the amount of light, don't go beyond 5.6, and instead of that put an ND filter to cut the light so you can stay where you want. Also, it's a good thing to stay in the 180-degree rule to get rid of that crisp, choppy look that Janusz Kaminski used in Saving Private Ryan. Try to avoid that, so for example, if you are shooting in 25p, go for a shutter speed of 150. If you still feel that your image is so sharp, there are other techniques that you can use, and we're going to talk about them. There's a lot of softening filters out in the market, like for example the Black Promise, Pearlescent. It will create a halo around the highlights. They give the image a diffuse look that can help you in order to get a more filmic image. They come in different intensities, in different numbers, so you should try and maybe you'll become a fan of them. There are a lot of DPs who use them in films and commercials since they feel digital is too sharp compared to film. These are not cheap filters, but they are great, high quality, and they give you what they promise. Another classic is to use stockings on the back of your lens. This was used in the classic Hollywood era to give the stars this glamorous effect, so it's maybe a bit riskier than the other technique, and you should try before applying it to your footage. Well, the third technique is one of my favorites, and it's using vintage lenses on your camera. Modern lenses are so cool, so crisp and so sharp, but maybe this is not so perfect if you are looking for the opposite. One way to overcome this is using all vintage lenses. They have texture and more personality, and sometimes its imperfections can be your best friend when trying to get cinematic images. They are cheap, and there's a lot of adapters out there to use them with your camera. Aside from that, the manual focus is a breeze to shoot video. Another cool way to diffuse your image is using moisturizer or Vaseline in front of your lens. In fact, try to use an UV filter so you don't spot your lens with these products. This one is maybe a more identifiable technique and will not work for all your projects. With this technique, you will be able to get soft and dreamy images, flares and other cool effects by putting different type of glasses in front of your lens, plastic bottles or whatever reflective thing you have. It will give you a dreamy look and some cool distortions. This effect works best when using long lenses, so be careful when using wide ones because the effects on the glass can be more noticeable. Aside from these images that you are seeing from our works, you should see the work of Bruno Avelin or Ruben Latre because they are real masters of this technique. Well, we have seen some ways to add a bit of diffusion or personality to your otherwise sharp images. There are of course other techniques that you can try even in post-production, but I feel that you spend less time in front of the computer and it's more fun doing it directly on camera. We've been using a lot of these techniques even in real commercials and projects, so don't be afraid of using these techniques if you and your client love the result. However, be careful with the most obvious effects because once you have your image recorded, there's no way back.
Thanks Jose, I hope this was helpful and you guys learned something new. Like this video if you like it, comment below, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you on next Friday.
There are other techniques that you can use. I'm out, man.
Hi guys, Rene here, fucking hell. Hi guys, Rene here.
This is the simple part and I can't do it, you know?
Yes, yeah, because they ask. After fucking hell.